will meet for the first time in 2025-26 campaign at the Santiago Bernabeu, setting the stage for yet another electrifying chapter brimming with intensity, with emotion and drama. The burning question for fans is, can Real Madrid beat Barcelona, who are coming off an iconic UCL win? That's the big debate on our sports meter today. Scan the QR code on your screen and have your say, because your vote decides the score.
ये है सीक्रेट रेसिपी MDH का जीरा सिप जल जीरा मसाला।
सिप सिप जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
आर प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला, डिलीशियस, हेल्दी एवरी डे। आर प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला, डिलीशियस, हेल्दी एवरी डे।
Should there be a law on malicious prosecution strongly implemented in this country? Because we are all victims of it. You know, you file a case against a common man, the common man gets harassed, family gets hounded, jailed, blah, blah, blah. I'm not talking only about myself, so, but I'm saying that these are cases where the foundational principles of justice get questioned. There's too much of it.
You know what we need? Way back in 87 or 88, Justice Hugo Black, one of the most famous judges of the US Supreme Court, great champion of rights. He had come to India. And I remember I was in the audience, I was very young that time, and Fali Nariman and all saying, oh, our Supreme Court has said this about fundamental rights and that about fundamental rights. He said something very interesting. He says, don't give me all this high-flying jurisprudence. Do you have a Civil Rights Act? You must create a Civil Rights Act. If a citizen is wrongly arrested, there must be a statute under which he gets money, compensation, under which he can get the person who arrested him sent to jail. If a citizen is discriminated, there must be a simple law by which he can go to a magistrate's court and get relief.
Right.
You need a Civil Rights Act. All these high-fairy notions of constitutional jurisdiction.
Thank you for joining us on the Longform story. Tonight on the show, we bring you 4 of the biggest stories of the last week. First up, the return of a rebel, Naga leader Thuingaleng Muivah, who's resurfaced after decades. Is this the turning point in India's oldest insurgency, or the reignition of old fires? The return of Muivah on the Longform story. Second, Mehul Chouksi's homecoming. The fugitive who fled after the Punjab National Bank scam is now heading back. His new address could be Mumbai's Arthur Road jail. Justice is finally catching up with Mehul Choksi. Nirav Modi may be next. And third, the Myanmar shocker. 399 Indians found inside a cyber scam center. How did they land there? And what does this reveal about a growing digital slave trade? The Myanmar scam hub on the Longform story. And fourth, it's the heist of the century inside the Louvre. How did thieves strike at the world's most guarded museum? The Longform story, the biggest stories of the week. Let's get started. For 5 decades, Thuingaleng Muivah has been one of India's most powerful and controversial insurgent figures. He's been operating from the shadows, working undercover, shifting locations, the face of the Naga movement, and the man behind the ceasefire he's been negotiating from somewhere we all don't know. It's a ceasefire that brought a fragile peace to the northeast. And now, after years away from the public eye, 5 decades later, Muivah has resurfaced in his hometown in Manipur, and he's getting a hero's welcome. Is his return a signal that the Naga peace process is entering a decisive new phase? Or could it reignite old tensions? Here's the full story on the return of the rebel, Muivah's comeback, and what it means for India's oldest insurgency. A story that mostly went unreported by the Lutyens media this week.
They gathered by the hundreds, voices rising, hands reaching, history unfolding before their eyes. Barriers held the crowd, but not the emotion. After half a century in the shadows, the rebel returns. Thuingaleng Muivah, to some a visionary, to others a cause of concern and a rebel. The man who once moved through as an outlaw now steps back onto the soil that once exiled him. His return is not merely a homecoming. It is a new chapter in the checkered history of Nagaland. For behind the name lies a people's long pursuit of self-determination. A cause sanctified by hope, yet scarred by decades of conflict and arms.
For some, he is a villain, but for many, and particularly for the Nagas across India and Myanmar, he is a patriot figure, a hero. Yes, I am talking about Thuingaleng Muivah, also known as Th. Muivah, the General Secretary of NSCN-IM, the Ato Kilonsa, or the Prime Minister of the Government of People's Republic of Nagalim.
Thuingaleng Muivah, General Secretary of the Nationalist Socialist Council of Nagalim, returned to his native Somdal village in Ukhrul in Manipur on Wednesday, 5 decades after leaving to join the Naga independence movement. Muivah left home in 1964 to join the struggle and only briefly returned in 1973. His last attempt to visit in 2010 was blocked by the state government and sparked deadly protests. Now, as talks raise hopes of reconciliation over demands for Nagalim, The 91-year-old veteran has warned the movement could once again take up arms again unless negotiations produce meaningful cooperation by Government of India.
We have been using our flag, our constitution from time immemorial, since time immemorial. But we need recognition from the aggressor state. We are using our flag today. Our people are using our flag and our constitution. But say Indian constitution is the child of, say, 1950. But we have our constitution since time immemorial. We have been using it as a people, as a nation, as a state, as a government. We have been using it. Now, the ball is in the court of India. We are waiting. Green signal from Delhi, and I hope that it can be hammered out. It can be settled.
A Naga flag, a separate land, and a separate constitution. That's what the demand for Nagalim is all about. The demand envisions uniting all Naga tribes under one administrative and cultural identity. But the Nagas are not a single linear community. If one looks closer, they are a collection of multiple ethnic tribes spread across Manipur, Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, and even parts of Myanmar. But the question is, why is this demand so significant? Why does it matter? Since India's independence, there has been a knot, one that few have tried to untangle, the knot of otherness, of not feeling included.
We don't have any Congress MLA for the last 10 years. For the 2 terms, we don't have Congress MLA elected member in our Nagaland Assembly. Why? During our Congress rule under the Prime Ministership of our Manmohan Singh Ji, he is our neighbor. He is a Rajya Sabha member from Assam. Though he was a Prime Minister for 10 years, he did not visit Nagaland even once.
Since 2015, the Government of India has time and again made visits to Nagaland, kept a distinct communication channel open with Muivah.
साथियों, अपने ही लोगों पर अविश्वास करके देश नहीं चलता। देश चलता है अपने लोगों का सम्मान करके, उनकी समस्याओं का समाधान करके। इसलिए पहले जहां नॉर्थ ईस्ट में डिवाइड की पॉलिटिक्स चलती थी, हमने उसे डिवाइन गवर्नेंस मॉडल में बदला है।
And it's in these consistent efforts that the 91-year-old rebel, even though warns of an armed resistance, still remains open to peaceful negotiations. Muivah also thanked the centre, the Nagaland government and the present Manipur government for facilitating the itinerary to his birthplace Somdal in Ukhrul district. For the family, it's more than a reunion. It's the closing of a long, silent distance. After decades apart, Isak Muivah broke down in emotion as he met his brother, the only surviving sibling of Thuingaleng Muivah.
Before he visited, after how many years you have seen him?
I think 30, 40 years.
After 30, 40 years. Where did you saw him last time?
I saw him last time at Dimapur.
And Camp Hambron?
Yeah.
After that, now you have seen him again?
Yeah. This is the first time. This is the last one.
The complex trajectory of identity and revolt in the pursuit of these ideals stand Thuingaleng Muivah, now the lone face of movement whose contemporaries are no more. The village has erected statues of Thuingaleng Muivah and his wife Pakao Muivah alongside a museum dedicated to his life. But even as history finds its monument, the path ahead remains uncertain and delicate. This homecoming comes months after the Prime Minister's visit to Manipur closes one chapter even as another waits to be written.
Some call him a hero and some call him a villain. It will be decided by history whether he was a villain or a hero. But for today, the people of Somdal are celebrating him. They are celebrating the visit of the son of Somdal, the son of Ukhrul, who had been in the Naga movement for 62 years.
He fled India in 2018 after one of the biggest banking scams in the country's history. A 13,000 crore fraud that shook the financial system, exposing many loopholes in our banking system. Mehul Choksi, the fugitive diamantaire, the face of the PNB scam, has spent years evading Indian law, taking refuge in different countries, from Hong Kong to Antigua, and now battling extradition proceedings in Belgium. But the net is finally tightening. Belgium has cleared his extradition to India, and New Delhi has wasted no time. We've sent detailed photographs over the last few days and videos of Mumbai's Arthur Road jail to the Belgian authorities, to the courts, to assure them that India is ready. And yet, Choksi has one final card to play, a last appeal before the Belgian Supreme Court. And if that fails, the scam-tainted businessman will be back in India, facing trial and accountability for the first time since he fled. This is the story of a long chase nearing its end. Mehul Choksi's new address in India could be Mumbai's Arthur Road jail.
From India to Antigua to Dominica, and now a new hideout in Antwerp, Belgium, the fugitives' fight continues across continents. A rupees 13,000 crore fraud, 4 countries and one relentless escape to dodge his fate in India. But the clock has finally started ticking for Choksi as Belgium clears his extradition to India. Barrack 12 of Mumbai's Arthur Road jail back in focus. No longer a matter of debate but a destination for India's most wanted fugitive economic offender. For Choksi, homecoming may mean confinement and the end of a global chase. The elusive uncle of Nirav Modi, Mr. Mehul Choksi, a mastermind of the cat and mouse game with investigating agencies. Choksi has been dodging justice since 2018. The chase continued until 2024 when he finally landed in Belgium and straight into the hands of the law after a CBI and ED extradition request. On October 18th, Belgium cleared a major legal roadblock paving the way for Choksi's extradition to India. The prime accused in India's biggest banking fraud could soon face justice back home. Choksi and his team played by the classic excuse, the poor conditions of jails in India and fragile medical condition to move in and out of countries and delay his return.
Whenever the last time was that you had a conversation with Mr. Choksi, even when you visited him in prison, what is the sense that you are getting when you are visiting him?
No, I mean, but see, his spirits are high, but medical condition is very bad. But see, he realizes that he is in the hope of justice, and he believes in the justice system, and that is why he takes all legal recourses that is possible.
India's extradition treaty with Belgium has stood strong since 1901. In 2020, it was updated to ensure tighter cooperation of fugitives. Now, with Antwerp confirming Choksi's extradition, the treaty showcases India's diplomatic muscle.
On October 18, Belgium cleared the legal roadblock in extradition of Indian fugitive Mehul Choksi, the prime accused in 13,000 crore PNB fraud case. Just this Monday, on October 20th, when I reached out to Antwerp court in a written response to Republic, the Advocate General Ken Witpass confirmed that there is nothing stopping Belgium from extraditing Mehul Choksi to India.
Though his lawyer cites Interpol support, Choksi's case weakens as appeals fall one by one.
The Interpol request of India has been turned down. We have Interpol order in our favor. 3. He did not escape. There was a court order. Nobody could touch him in Antigua. Clear, correct court order. But he had to travel not for escape. He had to travel for his medical treatment because those facilities were not available in Antigua. And when he traveled to Belgium and when he visited the hospital, which is a proof of his being not well, then only the world got to know that he is in Belgium.
Since October 18, Choksi had 15 days to appeal his extradition. With no appeal filed, time is running out. He could be back in India much sooner than expected. Choksi's return would mark another major diplomatic and legal victory for India, coming months after the successful extradition clearance of 2611 terror accused Tahavur Rana from the United States.
It's one of the biggest international crackdowns on cybercrime in recent times, one of the global crackdowns. And at the center of it are hundreds of Indians. $1 billion cyber scam hub in Myanmar, run by Chinese crime syndicates, protected by the local militia, and operating almost like a digital fortress, and has now been busted. In the last few days, Republic has been the only channel reporting on it. The sprawling KK Park enclave on the outskirts of Mayawadi in Myanmar has long been notorious as a cybercrime base. Unregistered buildings, private militia guards, and even Starlink satellite systems powering a massive network of fraud until a Myanmar junta raid blew it open. And what followed was chaos. Over 700 people trying to flee across the border into Thailand, and among them, the headline, 399 Indians. Alongside these Indians, Chinese, Vietnamese, Indonesian, Thais, even a few Pakistanis and Nepalese, and all part of a global cybercrime racket that was targeting victims around the world. And tonight, on the Longform story, we go inside the scam center and the so-called KK Park to expose how trafficked workers, fake job offers, and cross-border gangs build a billion-dollar digital crime empire. What were 399 Indians doing inside this Myanmar cyber scam hub?
From multi-crore scams to AI duplications. And digital crackdowns, the cyber world has grown from a tool of ease into a perilous world. One swipe, one fleeting blink, one buzz, and just like that, the crime is done, and the world remains unaware.
The rise in the digital arrest fraud cases is alarming, wherein the scammers generally pose as law enforcement on a video call. Official reports suggest that in 2023 and 2024, the cases have significantly surged, with losses crossing 500 crores in just that 1 year. As the digital payments grow, so does the sophistication of these scams. Here we will break it down for you. Who are these people? How do they operate? Who is the most vulnerable? And how can you save yourself?
It was 1 year back, 24th May 2024, and at around morning 9 a.m. I got a telephone rang and I went and picked up. It was a recorded message coming that your telephone number is going to be blocked. So I was clearly did not understand the whole thing, but I could hear that my number is going to be blocked. So it may create some problem. So, and it is a recorded message. So I thought it must be authentic message. So I called them up. Then they said, then somebody spoke. That was not recorded. That madam, from your number, somebody through with the help of your Aadhaar card must have taken another number, and they have given some abusive message languages and some porno photographs to 20 people. So they have complained to police station. So you have to report to Mumbai police station within 2 hours. So, but I'm trying to help you. So what you do? So आप एक काम करिए, आपका बैंक में कितना पैसा है? So I said, see, I will not be able to tell you exactly what I have got or not. तो एक काम करिए, आप all the bank papers लेके go to a bank and RTGS the whole amount in this number. The total from one bank 25 lakh and another bank 58 lakh. Okay, so I sent. And but both the bank, I asked them one question, that if there is something wrong in my account, why don't you freeze the account and verify, check it? Why are you asking for the money? Well, this is the hospital government protocol, ma'am.
Krishnadas Gupta never got the money a scamster had stolen from her. Caught on a digital trap, she was not alone. Thousands had faced the same fate. In another corner of the national capital, the phone rang with a similar script. Identity theft, obscene messages, a threat that claimed to destroy his life.
Here I received a call from an unknown number. The person, a male voice, said that they were calling from TRAI and that my phone numbers had been, my identity had been used to get an additional SIM card, and that card was issued and misused to send obscene messages. So I had to report to a particular police station in Mumbai. A very old bank account was being misused for money laundering, and since it was my account, so I would be liable for whatever criminality has happened through those bank accounts. That is how it actually started, and then eventually they started asking me that where do I have my money? Do I keep it in my bank account? I told them that I do not have any provident fund also. Whatever savings I have, I keep it mainly in the form of mutual funds. So I was made to redeem all the mutual funds. Fortunately, I caught on before I actually paid them any money, and I snapped the lines, but this was after almost 36 hours.
KR Park, at the heart of Mewadi Township. a Chinese-backed fortress, infamous as Southeast Asia's cybercrime citadel. Behind its glossy facade, whispers of law enforcers, diplomats, and dirty scams swirl. This Chinese-funded compound has long stayed under Myanmar's radar till February's storm. Over 700 foreigners pushed across into Thailand. A massive military raid unearthed Starlink terminals illegally operational inside the compound. In the raids carried out inside this complex, around 399 Indians were found trapped. Indians and Chinese were among the largest workforce. 700 attempted to cross over to Thailand. The park's identity, murky, masked and vague. Experts say the military turned a blind eye to these crimes. Others whisper. Ethnic militia secretly hold the reins. The junta pins the cyber chaos on the Karen National Union, accusing the ethnic group of fueling online fraud while opposing army rule. Thousands trafficked into digital slavery since COVID-19. Even after the crackdown, the cyber web runs deep. Authorities may have skimmed the surface, but there's still a lot more left to be scratched. UN estimates that more than 1 lakh people are being forced to work in the scam centers in Myanmar. KK Park's operations trace back to a complex network of businesses used by Chinese mafia. The deep pockets of these scams are suspected to fund geostrategic projects like that of China's Belt and Road Initiative. The need of the hour is a global crackdown before it is too late.
Ladies and gentlemen, on the 19th of October, the world woke up to what is now being called the heist of the century. In just 8 minutes, 4 thieves stole 8 priceless jewels valued at over $100 million from one of the most heavily guarded museums in the world. Armed with angle grinders, they broke through reinforced cases and vanished with the legendary Napoleonic jewels, a collection symbolizing France's imperial history. Now, this audacious theft has not just shocked France, it has triggered a political storm with questions over security failures, public spending, accountability now raging across France. Here's what's really happening inside the Louvre. The story of the heist of the century, told on the Longform story.
Heist of century worth $100 million happened at Paris Louvre Museum. In 8 minutes, 8 Napoleonic jewels were stolen away. The jewels stolen include a pearl diadem of Empress Eugenie, wife of Napoleon III, acquired by Louvre in 1992. A diamond bodice bow, another large bow-shaped adornment piece that belonged to the Empress. An emerald necklace and earrings, a set that Napoleon had gifted to his second wife, Marie-Louise, in 1810. Along with the reliquary brooch and a chandelier-like diamond brooch which once also belonged to Eugene. All of this, along with 4 other jewels, was stolen by 4 thieves who left the Louvre Museum short about 100 million in just 8 minutes. Explaining the modus operandi adopted by the thieves, this is what the French cultural minister had to say.
Il y a une enquête pénale, parce qu'on ne sait pas aussi ce qui s'est passé, parce que ça semblait bien renseigné aussi. Parce que je vais vous dire, dans la salle, moi j'ai vu la vidéo 3 minutes 52, hein, dans la salle. Hein. Ils sont allés directement sur les vitrines, ils savaient exactement ce qu'ils voulaient, et chacun sur une vitrine de manière très efficace. Et ils ne se sont pas attardés, ils sont allés à la disqueuse, ils ont détruit ces vitrines et ils sont repartis.
Official reports suggest that the thieves rode a basket lift to Louvre, forced a window into gallery, smashed display cases, and fled with the priceless Napoleonic jewels. A reported video has also emerged showing the theft taking place. While many are criticizing museum authorities for the lapses, Macron and his administration have come in the museum's defense.
Pour le Louvre, je me suis exprimé hier soir, j'ai dit mon soutien, ma détermination. J'aurai l'occasion de revenir sur ce sujet quand je serai sur le territoire français. Sur Nicolas Sarkozy, j'ai eu des propos publics toujours très clairs sur l'indépendance de l'autorité judiciaire, dans le rôle qui est le mien, mais il était normal que...
Est-ce que les dispositifs de sécurité du musée du Louvre ont été défaillants? Non, ils n'ont pas été défaillants. C'est une réalité. Les dispositifs de sécurité du musée du Louvre ont fonctionné. Et comme vous le savez, mais je vais vous répondre après, il y a des questions. Et comme vous le savez, j'ai diligenté une enquête administrative qui fera en toute transparence le détail des événements survenus dimanche dernier.
But the museum director, speaking to the press, informed on her offer to resign, which was declined, while also denying any personal responsibility for the spendings.
Par sa violence, ce vol blesse notre institution dans sa mission la plus profonde. Croyez-le bien, il ne s'agit nullement pour moi de me dérober ou d'adopter une position de déni. Malgré nos efforts, malgré notre travail acharné au quotidien, nous avons été mis en échec. 8 objets d'une valeur patrimoniale immense, témoins de l'histoire de notre pays, conservés dans le cœur historique du Palais du Louvre, nous ont été arrachés. Il y a des échecs. Aujourd'hui, nous vivons un échec terrible au Louvre, dont je prends ma part de responsabilité. Je le redis, j'ai présenté ma démission, elle a été refusée. Mais qu'on ne me fasse pas des procès personnels de dépenses inconsidérées. La sécurisation.
As the thieves took out the jewels with the angle grinders, interestingly, they left cursed Indian region diamond that was taken from the Golconda region. Their reason simply that the cursed diamond carries a tragedy. Interestingly, it made its way to Napoleon Bonaparte, who added it to its sword, and the rest is history. Now, with this theft, the Louvre has come back to spotlight. The last time it happened was in 1911 when Mona Lisa was stolen. As the thieves still remain at large, access to museum remains partially restricted for visitors, but the museum is now open.
And that's it on the long form story this evening on Republic. In case you missed it, catch the full episode Sunday afternoon, 12 p.m. Thanks for watching.
QS&THE, the world's foremost university rankings organizations, have ranked Amity amongst the top 3% universities globally, making it among the very few Indian universities to be included in both rankings. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
अब छोलिया हो या लोबिया, सफेद चने या काले चने,
सब कुछ मजेदार बने।
केसरिया